I'd like to call to order the Westmont Village Board meeting of July 5th, 2018 to order at 6 o'clock p.m. and ask Clerk Simsky for a roll call.
Mayor Gunter.
Here.
The clerk's here. Trustee Addington.
Here.
Trustee Barker.
Here.
Trustee Barry.
Here.
Trustee Guzzo.
Here.
Trustee Little.
Here.
Trustee Nero is absent tonight. Attorney Perez. We're so honored to have the lovely Attorney Perez tonight.
Here.
And Village Manager May.
Here.
And Finance Director Barker.
Here. Would everybody please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to welcome everybody to the day after the 4th, and I want to start off with reports, or open forum. Is anybody here for open forum? I did not have any requests, so open forum is closed. Under reports, my reports first, and it's always a pleasure to recognize one of our own, and I'd ask Chief Weiss if he can come up and acknowledge one of our service awards.
Thank you, Mayor. Trustee Guzzo, could you come up here with me too?
Oh, good. Good call.
Tonight it's an honor to honor one of our captains on the Westmont Fire Department, Leif Johnson. We're going to present him with his 25-year plaque. I would be remiss if I didn't also mention Bob Ziegler is still in the audience here, and he is a retired lieutenant, 40 years or so with us. They're lifelong residents of Westmont. They raised their kids in Westmont, and some of them are still reside here. So it's great to have them here tonight. But Leif, you want to come forward here? And the Village of Westmont honors Leif Johnson, captain, member of the village's fire department, in recognition of over 25 years of dedicated service to the community from 1992 to 2018. Ron Gunther, Mayor, June 2018. So I'll let you present that.
Congratulations.
I get out of the picture.
Yeah, I know.
I'm getting enough. Yeah. Congratulations. Thank you.
Very good to see you again.
He's coming.
Congratulations.
Chief, is there anything he'd like to? He gets an opportunity. Congratulations. The couple other items I have, the Sister City update. On Sunday, our guests will be arriving from Taiwan. They'll spend all week here. On Monday morning at 10 a.m. right here, we're inviting anybody who would like to come and meet them, as they'll be introduced for the first time here at Village Hall. And if you have any questions or you want to know about the schedule, contact Larry McIntyre. Yesterday was our Independence Day celebration, and I cannot tell you how proud I am of the staff. Under very difficult conditions, from heat to lightning to a fire, which I'm going to ask Chief Weiss in a minute to come up and talk about. We had to shoot the fireworks half an hour early, but we missed all the major storms, and I think everybody had a lot of fun and enjoyed the day. We have yet to cancel in 19 years, so something's on our side. But I'd like to thank the entire staff. I mean, it started at 6 in the morning with Public Works, and it ended our EMA and police and fire with directing traffic, and everybody was just wonderful. And at this time, I'd ask Larry McIntyre, who has a video, because we received some good coverage.
Thank you, Mayor and everybody. As the Mayor mentioned yesterday, 4th of July, as always, a great event. But yesterday was extra special because about a month out, we had a request from a gentleman who wanted to do his marriage proposal via fireworks at the 4th of July. So Bob Fleck in the Park District worked with him for quite a long time and introduced him to the fireworks vendor, and they did do the proposal yesterday, and we had worked about a week out to talk with local media, and so we had interest from Fox, CBS, ABC, and WGN, all of whom were in attendance and covered it. But probably the best story came from ABC, and if it's all right, we're going to go ahead and play that right now.
Show did go on in Westmont just a little earlier than planned, and that was especially great news for one young couple. ABC 7's Liz Nagy has more from the western suburbs.
Simultaneous fireworks displays erupted over a packed Westmont park. From the ground and from the sky, a carefully timed show suddenly had to go off a little early when weather threatened to cancel it at the last second. And just before the display, a sign lit up and changed a couple's life. It's been a full day of celebration here.
It's nice, it's quiet, it's a lot of just togetherness. Everybody seems like they love each other.
And Westmont is a place that exemplifies what America is.
If you walk through this park, you will see all nationalities, many different languages. It's a melting pot, it really is. I describe it as a Norman Rockwell painting in the park come to life.
Whenever you come here, you feel like home.
That's what keeps...
So as the story goes on, it goes on to Naperville and other events, but thought it went really well, and of course, great PR and a great quote from ABC.
Did she say
there.
yes?
I heard that she did say yes. There was additional video footage taken by myself and all the friends that were there, and that was posted all over. And as of this moment, we're over 5,000 views on that video.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And going along with the celebration, I'd ask Chief Weiss, this is on the other side, we had a fire very close within 5 or 6 blocks of Ty Warner Park, and I called Chief up to kind of review what happened.
Thanks, Mary. Yeah, about 6:25 last night, we had a automatic fire alarm at 515 North Cass. It turned into a working fire on the 3rd floor. We, at times, were kind of tense getting the companies there and getting into the building and getting everybody out. It's a 22-unit condo building, and we did get everybody out safely. We did have one resident that was transported to the hospital, but from a diabetic incident. We did have one firefighter from another fire department that was overcome heat exhaustion, but was not transported. But we had about 100 firefighters there, went to a 3rd alarm, and about 30 different departments. Everybody involved, from the police, EMA, Public Works, Water Department, our building department, everybody was out there involved in it. It was a team effort. We were able to get the fire out pretty quickly, and from that we had Red Cross out. Red Cross helped get all the residents some housing for the night, but it was a great team effort, and yeah, it was in the middle of our big fest, but we handled it. We got a lot of great neighbors that came and assisted us. Even police department had assistance because they have a lot of calls going on at the same time. So anyway, that's what happened last night in the middle of our fest.
Thank you, Chief. And again, a lot was going on last night, but everything went off extremely well. And I failed to mention, on top of our staff, the Park District staff did a tremendous job yesterday too, with making sure the event was coordinated. And that's all I have, and I go to Clerk Simsky.
I just want to remind everybody that there will be a community garage sale August 3rd, 4th, and 5th between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. And for any information, visit westmont.illinois.gov for details. And I'm with you, Mayor. I think the Park District the village, you start out, like you said, with Public Works, and then the police and the fire all night were busy, and EMAs, it's just amazing, and the Park District did a great job too. I also have to give a shout out, and I don't even know who I'm saying this to, but I lost my cell phone last night in my wallet, and someone found it and turned it in to Angela, Officer Angela, and I can't say enough kind words about this person because, I was crushed when I thought, oh my God, I had credit cards and everything else in it, and that's the facts. And it was wonderful. I came home going, oh dear, I lost my phone. And the chief of police and Angela pulled in right behind us, and we were getting out of the car, and they said, Ginny, we have your cell phone. And I'm like, oh my God, you people are the best. I love this village, I love the people in it, and I love our staff. We've got the best. So, thanks again.
Thank you. And I'm going to turn to Trustee Addington.
Thank you, Mayor. A couple of things tonight. First one is to invite everyone that will be going to the Taste of Westmont next weekend to be sure they stop by the Lions Club booth. We're doing our usual corn on the cob and big fancy hot dogs, but we're trying something new this year, which is called taco in a bag, or a walking taco, as some people call it. So it's kind of a new item, and we're looking for a fun taste, and the Lions Club, as they always are, will be there doing their cooking. The other thing I have to report on is just to highlight a few things that came from the Mayors and Managers Legislative Committee meeting of a week ago, and that had been kind of passed out to everybody, but a couple of highlights that I think should be mentioned. Our legislative liaison, Matt O'Shea, commented on the fact that there will be a veto session, and there is some concern, or there was some concern that somebody might tinker with the budget. And he said he didn't see any way that was going to happen, that between the Democrats, the Republicans, the governor's office that had worked this out, that was there. He considers it a win for us in the municipal sector because of the fact that they reduced LGDF from 10% to 5%. So he said the municipalities really did a good job of working through Protect My Town and some of the other things, and the message is there to the legislators of the strength of the municipalities. That's, I think, a very positive for this year. The other is that the Supreme Court has made a decision on internet sales tax, and that these sales tax now, these companies now have to collect tax. Apparently, the state of Illinois has decided to use it at what they call in the use tax area, which means that instead of trying to figure out, was it a Westmont resident or a Downers Grove resident or somebody else, they're going to do it as a use tax, and it'll be distributed by population, which means we will share, depending on whatever that turns out to be, but we will share something. And so again, that's a little bit of a protection. Again, we reviewed 29 pieces of legislation that are on the governor's desk that have passed both houses. What's interesting is we recommended approval on 11, opposed 10, and are neutral on 8. It'd be nice if we could get that where little more of this legislation was on a more positive side. There are some things that are pending that we're asking the governor to veto. One of them is House Bill 4846, because it's taking away, there's a bill, this bill calls for people who get tickets for instance, using their cell phones when they're driving. Right now, we can do that through our administrative adjudication rule. This bill passes, we no longer are allowed to do that. That goes in front of the judge. So it kind of takes away local authority, so we're opposed to that because of that. So But other than that, it was a positive. I don't think there'll be a meeting in July. They were talking about probably canceling July. Legislature is now out of session because of summer, and also everyone wants to get reelected, so they'll all be working in their districts for that. And probably the next meeting will be in August. And that's all I have, sir.
Thank you. Trustee Guzzo.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I want to remind everyone that our next Public Safety Committee meeting will be Thursday, August 16th, 4:30. That is before our regularly scheduled Village Board meeting. Secondly, I would like to just remind everyone that the Fire Department will be celebrating its 95th anniversary. The committee continues to promote the open house on Saturday, October 13th from 1 to 3 at the South Fire Station. Members will be handing out save the date cards at all the special events coming up, so make sure you put that on your calendar. It's going to be a great time. Next, I'd like to invite Chief Weiss up to talk about safe community events. Seems like we've been having a lot of storms and a lot of adverse weather, and Chief, thank you.
Thanks, Trustee. Just want to the mayor and the board know, and our citizens know, that we have a team effort when it comes to all our special events, even the Thursday night cruising nights. We develop what we call incident action plans, and this is for the taste. This is the supplemental plan for the taste, and this is the operational plan for the taste. Everybody involved, all departments from Public Works, Water, Police, EMA, Fire, Economic Development, everybody is involved and has input into these plans. They're reviewed every year, and they're changed to update if we have any instances or other things that are going on. But just to give a little example in these plans is operational responsibilities, severe weather evacuation plans, fire rescue plans, emergency medical plans, law enforcement plans, traffic plans, communication plan, lost child plan, and the Taste of Westmont resource information. That's all in this information right here. Senior staff has it, both police and fire, and special events. A lot of time is put into this. We do meet before events come up, especially the 4th of July. We had a plan for 4th of July. We probably meet a couple months before that. We go through everything, park districts involved, any park district events that happen, special events is involved in everything. And we go through these. Everybody has input. They're updated every year. These are on file through our dispatch center. This year for the taste, we will have a dispatcher every day in our communication vehicle at our event. So if we have an incident, we'll have a dispatcher in there. But a lot of time and effort goes from staff into these. We started doing these probably about 5 years ago. They change every year, each event, but as we get more events, we develop these and put them together, and it's done by all our staff. So these are great to have. These are what we follow. When we have severe weather coming in, we have guidelines in here that that guide us in making decisions if we cancel the event or we delay it or move things up or whatever we need to do. So just wanted to let our citizens know and our community know that public safety and everybody's well prepared, and we do have things documented, and we do have all our resources right at hand, and we're on top of things.
Wonderful.
All right. Any questions? All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Police Department, reminding everyone, National Night Out. It's new this year. The Westmont Police Department and Westmont Special Events will work together to promote National Night Out as part of the Westmont Cruise Nights. Date will be Thursday, August 2nd. Activities will be in the Manning School parking lot. Also put that one on your calendar. And that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Trustee Barry.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We have exciting news that the new mobile station opened on the corner of Cass and Naperville Road. And Jimmy is the same owner of the Sitco, has continued to be there. I think he's told us over 40 years now, I think they said they've been in town, and he's excited to be open, and Manager May was at the convenience store today, and everything's up and running. McGrath Lexus will host a business after hours on July 18th. It'll be from 5 to 7. And that will include refreshments, prizes, Lexus swag, test drives, and site tours. Register at thewestmontchamber.com to attend. And the Lexus swag is awesome. If anyone gets a chance to attend, there's all kinds of stuff they give away there, and it's all really nice stuff. Lastly, I'd like to report on our dining guide has gone out. And Let's see if we can get that up there. I'm sure it'll come up. And highlighted in there are our 101 restaurants. What do you gotta do there? And Fleming's is on the front with the Cuban sandwich, which will be at the Taste of Westmont, I'm sure. That's a staple there. And thank you, Larry. And so that's the front cover. And then on the back is a really nice shot. And then again, highlights the 101 restaurants on the tour. And as Larry Forsberg explained, this is also very useful when we have possible new restaurants coming into town to show what we already have. So great. That should, if you did not get in the mail, should be coming in the next couple days. And that's all I have today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll go to Trustee Barker.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple of things briefly. Westmont First will meet August 20th. We are not meeting in July. And then on Monday night, July 2nd, we had an Environmental Improvement Committee meeting, and they're working on a lot of detailed items, but the one thing they asked me to remind everybody of is the library is hosting another one of their speaker series, and this is about home remedies and ridding your house of pests. And you can find more detailed information on the library website. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Trustee Little.
Thank you, Mayor. I hope everyone can bear with me. I've got a lot on my plate tonight. Starting with the Taste of Westmont. It starts a week from tonight. We have a few new, well, let me get first to the business part of it, and that's to thank all of our sponsors. Our corporate and platinum sponsors are the Village of Westmont, the Westmont Auto Mile, Napleton Westmont Porsche, Kim Heller, Baird & Warner, and Oakbrook Toyota. Our gold sponsors are Uncle Bub's Restaurant, Westmont Park District, Neat Kitchen and Bar, Euclid Beverage, and Kurt's Ambulance. Our silver and bronze sponsors are the Westmont Yard, Chicago Club Inn and Suites, Suburban Door Check and Lock Services, coming soon the FMC Natatorium, and Uncle John's Music. Our media sponsors and more are Suburban Life, Neighbors Magazine, Waste Management, Shaw Media, and Base Creative Digital. We also have a few other sponsors, the Convenient Food Mart, Wings and Talons, Bank of America, L&J Auto, Crescent Islamic Mission, and Tune Funeral Home. Next on the list is the food vendors. I'll go through those real quick. China Chef, Dairy Queen, Dolce's Restaurant and Wine Bar, J. Fleming's, absolutely delicious, Neat Kitchen and Bar, Papa Pacero's, Taco Express, Taste of Taiwan, the Sister City, Tropical Snow, Uncle Bub's Barbecue, Westmont Chamber Lemon Shake-Ups, Westmont Lions Club, and Zazo's Pizza and Bar. So our thanks go out to both of those. New items this year at the Taste are going to be, the beer tent is open on Thursday night. That's a new one. We have happy hour every night from 5 to 6 at the beer tent. We also have a trivia night at the dining tent from 6 to 8 on Thursday night. That's new. I'm sad to say, but no pets are allowed, and that's for everybody's safety. People bring dogs out, or we've had reptiles, a few other animals, and it's really, really going to be hot, so I encourage everybody to leave your pets at home, please, for everybody's sake. And then last, we have some specials going on at the carnival. The carnival, we have wristbands on Thursday night. They're $20, and the wristbands run from 5:30 to 9:30. Saturday, we have noon to 4, a $25 wristband. Sunday, noon to 4, $25 wristband. And Sunday night from 5 to 8, a $20 wristband. Those are really, really economical for everybody to take advantage of because the kids can ride forever. And then Larry, if you'd be so kind to go into some of the music that's on stage.
Thank you, Trustee Little. Yes, we'll just quickly go through the main stage headline acts. And Friday, the 13th, we have the band Peace Road at 6 p.m. And as we had mentioned in a previous meeting, our Taiwanese dance troupe will be on the main stage at 7:45. So we invite everybody to come out and welcome them. But then at 8:30, the headline band for Friday night is called Anthem, and that's a classic rock band, and also I think friends of Manager May. On Saturday, July 14th, full day starting at noon. Expressions Dance Studio will be on stage at noon, and we should probably give an extra shout out to them in case you were not aware. They're going to be performing at the Special Olympics 50th anniversary in Soldier Field later in the month, and so that's exciting news as well. But then at 2 o'clock, we got the Westmont High School Band. 3:30, Cadillac Casanovas. This is a band that also performs quite a bit at cruising nights and a fan favorite here in town. 6 p.m., Chicago Experience. That's basically a Chicago tribute band. They do additional rock and horn music, but they actually do an incredible job with the band in Chicago and their music. So if you're interested in that, definitely come out. And then what we're excited about and new to our stage this year's 8:30 is a Fleetwood Mac tribute band called Tusk, and they are rated the #1 tribute band in the country for Fleetwood Mac, and so they're coming in from Ohio, and we're very excited to have that. On Sunday, we always feature the blues. So on July 15th, from 1 to 4, we have the All Ages Muddy Waters Blues Jam. At 4 o'clock, it's the Muddy Waters Blues Tribute, which a lot of high-profile blues artists, including Joe Morganfield, will be out to perform at that time. And then our evening ends up with the band Ara at 6 p.m.
Great. Don't go away. Just wanted to let everybody know that we're still in dire need of people who want to volunteer, both at the beer tent, at the information tent, at the carnival. And so if you would go on to our website, westmontevents.com, and sign up, I would really, really appreciate it, because there's no way we could do this without the volunteers. So please come out and join us for that. You also have a lot of fun. You get a t-shirt and a couple of drink tickets. So it's well worth your 2 hours or 3 hours that we ask you to participate and get to know your other people in the village. Then one more thing, Larry, can you talk about the community branding meeting?
Absolutely, thank you. So in the past month, we've had a couple of different branding related meetings, both in June, and the first one was what we're referring to now as our Youth Ambassadors group, and we actually had a couple of kids come and speak, but we've met a couple times since then as well. And so they're working on the I Love Westmont contest, which is going to get kicked off here very soon, and then culminate to our 97th anniversary later this year in the month of November. But at this point, we probably have about a dozen high school and junior high kids who are extremely enthusiastic and excited about the community, and so you will be seeing more press on that here real soon. And then we had an additional meeting about the mural project, in which we probably had about 10 folks who are very enthusiastic about the mural program. We've talked with a half a dozen businesses downtown about using their facade, and them working with us, and everybody we've talked to is interested. I won't mention any names yet, because until we have all those details finalized, I don't want to reveal that yet. But we're going to start working with staff on the official agreement. Obviously, we got to get legal involved, because the agreement will be between a private-public partnership, so between the village and the business owner. But we're excited about where that's heading, and it's moving along well.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
And then last but not least, the Westmont Cruising Nights and Street Fair. Tonight is one. Not sure how many cars are left out there, but last week we did have the very first Artisans Night, and it was extremely successful. Artist Block Gallery was packed, and I think it was packed all night long. I went in there several times and could barely, squeeze my way between everybody to see all the fabulous artist renderings that were there, and just a huge successful opportunity for a lot of local artists to become known. So that big thanks to the Westmont Special Events for putting that on. And that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Moving on, items to be removed from the consent agenda. Does any board member want any item? No. Seeing none, I'd ask Manager May to please read.
Thank you. First, tonight, in consent agenda are the village board minutes. Board to consider approving the minutes of the village board meeting held June 21st, 2018. Next is finance ordinance number 5 in the aggregate amount of $827,429.70. We have 3 purchase orders this evening. First purchase order is Bradford Westmont LLC, $290,000. This represents a developer note payment. Next purchase order, Baxter and Woodman, $49,000. This is for what's phase 2, or the design engineering services for the Burr Oak Water Main project. This is the purchase order encumbering that amount. You already approved the contract on June 21st. Similarly, the third purchase order is ESI Consultants, and that's for the Gateway Corridor design work. It's both the gateway signs and the median, the corridor beautification or improvement project. And this is for what we call phase 2, or design engineering, also for a contract you previously approved. Total of those purchase orders is $408,700, brings the total of purchase orders and finance ordinance number 5 to $1,236,129.70. Last is a special event or a hotel motel grant request for Westmont Lions, representing the event being the Red, White, and Barbecue. Board to consider a motion awarding the hotel motel grant request in the amount of $2,500 to the Westmont Lions for the 2018 Red, White, and Barbecue event. There's a long list of notes on there. That's essentially the item, but you like to know what the balance of the fund is. So assuming approval of this grant, the balance in that fund will be $15,000. And that concludes the consent agenda, Mayor.
Do I have a motion to approve as read?
Motion to approve, Little.
Second.
Motion been made and second on the question. Seeing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Barry?
Yes.
Trustee Addington?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Motion passes. Moving on to new business. Increase in available Class 23 liquor license. Board to consider ordinance increasing the number of available Class 23 liquor license by 1 for Wood Grain Neapolitan Pizzeria, 19 West Ogden Avenue. And I've got Deputy Liquor Commissioner Mulhern to discuss it.
Good evening, Village Board. Wood Grain Neapolitan Pizzeria submitted an application for a Class 23 liquor license, which allows them to apply for a video gaming license with the Illinois Gaming Board. To make it a little bit shorter, this afternoon I was contacted by Mark Stolfi, the owner of Wood Grain Pizza, and they did a business review since submitting their application, and notified me today, this afternoon, that they're withdrawing their application. They are not seeking a video gaming license. Their regular liquor license, Class 4, will still remain in place, just withdrawing their application for the liquor license for video gaming.
So that's it.
Yes, sir.
We need to take any action?
No votes
No.
necessary.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
New business B, award of bid proposal, 2018 Fire Department Headquarters Stormwater Regional Detention Project. Board to consider ordinance accepting the bid proposal from Copenhagen Construction for the village's 2018 Fire Department Headquarters Stormwater Regional Detention Project and authorizing a contract consistent with the bid documents. And I'd go to Manager May, or Mike Ramsey. Come on up, Director Ramsey.
He's got better notes than I do.
Thank you, Mayor. Last week the village accepted 7 bid proposals from local contractors for the 2018 Fire Department Headquarters Stormwater Regional Detention Project. The low bidder was Copenhagen Construction with a low bid of $1,872,981.08, which is just under 11% under the engineering estimate of just over $2 million. Staff recommends that we award the contract to Copenhagen with the bid of $1,872,981.
Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve, Little.
Second, Barker.
Motion made and second to approve. On the question.
I have a question. Have we worked with Copenhagen before?
We have. They're a very good company. We're very happy with their bid proposal. We reviewed it, and everything we could ask for, they had in the bid proposal, so it was very good.
And it's 11% under what we projected.
Correct. Okay. Yep.
And you had how many bidders?
7.
That's good.
Which is a good amount.
Very good.
It's interesting on the bid detail on how they categorize things, and they put their money in different buckets, as Spencer would say.
Yeah.
And it all comes out in the end where the bids weren't that far apart, really.
No, they weren't, and we were very surprised because the engineering estimate was right in the middle of all 7, which is exactly what you want to try to shoot for. You don't want the engineering estimate to be too high or too low. It was right in the middle of the 7 bids that we got, so we were very happy with our results.
Do we know when we're going to start the project?
Hopefully soon. Yeah, it's a hard thing to answer for sure. We talked to the company. We've gone through and reviewed everything. They know once it gets approved, if it does get approved tonight, then we're going to work with them, have a pre-bid meeting, and then try to set a date. Hopefully, if I had to guess, I would say sometime early August.
That's good, because it seems like we're just getting a lot of rain at one time a lot this summer.
Yes.
Yeah. Great.
Any additional comments, question? Roll call, please.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Addington.
Yes.
Trustee Barry.
Yes.
Motion passes. New business C, engineering agreement, 2018 Fire Department Headquarters, Stormwater Regional Detention Project. Board to consider an ordinance authorizing an engineering agreement with ESI Consultants for PH3 construction, inspection, engineering, and material testing services on the 2018 Fire Department Headquarters Stormwater Regional Detention Project. Director Ramsey.
Thank you, Mayor. We are requesting that ESI Consultants be approved for the sum of $159,950 for Phase 3 construction, inspection, and engineering materials testing services for the village's 2018 Fire Department Headquarters Stormwater Regional Detention Project. The staff does recommend working with ESI. We've worked with them on many projects, especially stormwater projects, and they've been really good with us since day one, since we started talking about this project. So they're a very good company to work with.
Have a motion.
So move, Guzzo.
Second, Little.
Motion been made and second. Additional questions, comments? If we didn't approve this one, would the other one?
Correct. Exactly. Yeah, it's kind of cards for
They got to go together. All
yeah,
right.
Exactly. You're right. Yep.
I'd ask for a roll call, please.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Barry.
Yes.
Trustee Addington.
Yes.
Motion passes. New business D, engineering agreement 2018 MFT Street Resurfacing Project. Board to consider an ordinance authorizing an engineering agreement with ESI Consultants for PH2 engineering design services and PH3 construction, inspection, engineering, and material testing services on the 2018 street resurfacing project. And we'll keep Director Ramsey up at the podium.
Thank you, Mayor. Again, this is our 2018 MFT street resurfacing project that proposes to resurface approximately 2 miles of roadway. There are 5 streets that we're proposing. First street is Park Street from Quincy to 55th Street. The second street is Melrose Avenue from Cass Avenue to Wilmette. The third street is Wilmette Avenue between Burlington and Chicago. The fourth is 67th Street between Cass and Williams. And then the final street is Blackhawk Drive, the S-curve, right by the junior high from Chestnut to Oakwood. All 5 of these streets we went through and did our study. We went back and looked at, we rated all the streets, and these 5 streets were the streets that needed the work the most, that fall in that rating. So we're requesting the approval of a sum of $26,150 for both the Phase 2 and Phase 3 engineering, inspection, engineering, and material testing services for the village's street resurfacing project. Staff does recommend approving the proposal of the amount of $26,150.
Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve, Little.
Second, Addington.
Motion been made in second. On the question. And again, this is after we had the bond, the bond to fix pretty much 50% of our streets. Now we're going to the next level, the next 5.
Right. Once, if this gets approved tonight, once the design work is done, then we'll be coming back to you for the actual engineering part, or the actual construction part of this. So.
Yeah, unlike like road construction projects or the water main project where you've got design engineering and then you've got inspection services after you award the contract, the road resurfacing, we do those specifications in-house because they don't need full plans like drafting done. So we do that part. So the only engineering you're approving, and this is for the material inspection, which is actually laboratory work, mostly, that we're not equipped to do.
Any additional comments? Question? Roll call, please.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Barry.
Yes.
Trustee Addington.
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Motion passes. New business E, agreement with the Westmont Special Events Corporation. Board to consider an ordinance approving an agreement with the Westmont Special Events Corporation for approval procedures for special event permits. And I'm going to ask Manager May to comment on that.
That was, we've talked about it a few times for you all, dating back to when we were working on the budget process. So we already have a relationship with Westmont Special Events Corp. For vetting certain special events in the town. And then over the years, the amount of special event requests have changed and been more frequent. And then you tend to evaluate those, events here at a board meeting. So this is allows. And like the last meeting, you had an open forum request for a special event. So this will defer all requests, first to be vetted through the Westmont Special Events Corp. Via the criteria that we all established. Mr. McIntyre will be the liaison between the two organizations to process that. And then once we have a recommendation from them, that will come back to the village board as a special event. There's also other parts in there. It has to do with staffing and being able to process that, and then these same staffing demands are also converted into like the special events tonight, or the amount of public works, I don't want to call it burden, but the amount of public works participation. So if they have additional staff to work on these other parts, this also includes more attention to be done at that level, and then that in turn reduces our overtime, for special events participation as well. So there's a lot of parts in here. I know you're just approving it tonight. We're asking you to approve it tonight, but we've kind of been working in this manner all along, this year.
Do I have a motion? Motion to approve, Addington.
Second, Little.
Motion been made and second to approve. On the question. And I think the other thing this does is one organization will work together so they don't duplicate an event and make sure they stay off each other's date. So I think this is a good thing for the community. Roll call, please.
Trustee Addington.
Yes.
Trustee Barry.
Yes.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Motion passes. New business F, intergovernmental agreement with the Westmont Park District. This is an item that was postponed last month, and we said it would be on this agenda. Board to consider an ordinance approving an intergovernmental agreement with the Westmont Park District for design, construction, and maintenance of certain stormwater improvements. And I'm going to turn to our attorney. We've talked about some slight modifications that we need to give the attorney authority to, if we want to amend. So I'll just ask Anne Marie to comment on that.
So apparently we received word from the Park District's attorney late, I believe it was on the 3rd. It kind of got communicated to us over the 4th, and we were able to kind of hash it out today, finally. They wanted to add a couple of different terms to clarify is what they're saying. The other thing is that the contractor was asking for certain things to be put in there as to how everything is going to happen, because the village is paying for the first $1 million, and then what happens is that the contractor will do the work, submit their bills to the Park District, they'll vet it, then we'll get it, and that's kind of how it's going to work. And they wanted some of those terms enumerated a little more clearly than it had been. Although John Zemanek and the attorney for the Park District have been working on it, John was able to, while he was sitting in an airport today, look at it again, because I wanted to make sure that we had the same eyes on it the whole time. And although they were last-minute changes, the wording doesn't change the substance of the agreement. So the recommendation is to go forward and actually approve this. However, we would ask that we could modify the ordinance to just say subject to attorney modifications. And I'll get that to you tomorrow with the changes.
Manager May.
Well, you all are very familiar with what we were talking about, and this was an overview of the changes that you've seen since last time, but the general description of the project is the village's participation in a stormwater improvement relative to a bigger development. So this is, that construction's being done as part of the development, and that's where our participation is, and it's not just the dollar value either. There's also land exchange that we do with regular routine with the park district as well. So there's a lot of parts in here in a big package, and consistent with how we've processed them before.
Over the years, yes.
Yeah.
Do I have a motion to approve with the understanding that the attorney has the authority to modify?
So moved, Addington.
Second, Little.
Motion been made and second to approve on the question.
I'd just like to make a comment. I think it's wonderful to live in a community where the park district and the village work so closely together. And I think part of that is because our mayor came from the park district. Jim Long reminded me last night, as I had a background in the park district for a while. But without that relationship where they can work together, a lot of these kinds of things just couldn't happen. So thank you.
And this big project, of course, is the natatorium, which will be at our planning and zoning next Wednesday night, July the 11th. So everybody's excited about it, and we'll hear more about it on the 11th. Any additional? Seeing none, I'd ask for roll call, please.
Trustee Addington?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Barry?
Yes.
Motion passes. New business G, DuPage County Natural Hazards Mitigation Plan. Board to consider a resolution to adopt the DuPage County Natural Hazards Mitigation Plan for 2018 as an official plan of the Village of Westmont. Chief Weiss.
Thanks, Mayor. This happens every year. The county requires this, so DuPage County Natural Hazards Mitigation Plan. It identifies a series of action items and recommendations to protect people, reduce damage from natural hazards such as floods, severe winter and summer storms, tornadoes, and extreme heat, and other miscellaneous things that happen in our town. So as your EMA director and our staff, we recommend approval of this plan.
Do I have a motion?
So move Guzzo.
Second, Addington.
Motion been made and second. Any questions or comments?
I'd just like to say that the resolution was actually in the packet.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. I'd ask for a roll call, please.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Barry?
Yes.
Trustee Addington?
Yes.
Motion passes. Moving on, miscellaneous. At this time, does anybody have any other information, comments they'd like to share? Sun's out, so we can.
Yeah, I just saw that. The only thing I would like to mention to everybody in town is, please watch these next couple of planning and zoning meetings. There's a lot of things that are coming that are very positive and are definitely going to change what we call Westmont.
In the last meeting.
What?
And if you got to spare 4 hours, the last meeting. That's interesting, too.
Yeah.
Two major projects in town, last P&Z.
Unbelievable, yeah. So for those who get a chance to see them, you'll see a lot of positives coming and a lot of good things. Nobody knows for sure what's going to happen once this natatorium gets built, but I think between restaurants and hotel rooms, this thing is going to be unbelievable. So we're glad we finally got to this point, everybody, so.
I think it has to be said, years in the making on some of this.
Excellent. And we're talking about 63rd and Cass.
Yes.
We're talking about downtown right here. I don't know what you call
Two in
it.
the downtown, yeah.
Yeah, downtown on the south side of the tracks, on this side of the street. So two major developments coming in that'll be before this board in the next couple meetings.
And it's still going on, and it's exciting, and a huge benefit to the village is our ongoing auto mile expansion that you know, when you see cranes around the community, it's always a good sign, and our auto mile is just fantastic. So another just positive that's going on.
And to credit to Larry Forsberg and his folks, a lot of the stores in downtown are getting filled. We still have a few more we'd like to fill, but there's things happening in town, and I think a lot of it is extremely positive. So we keep Larry busy too.
And I don't know, Larry, you got anything to add? Go Westmont. All right. Seeing no other information, I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved, Addington.
Second, Little.
Motion been made and seconded to adjourn. Roll call, please.
Trustee Addington?
Yes.
Trustee Barry?
Yes.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Parker?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
And again, the motion passes. We are adjourned. Thank you for coming.